Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Canterbury in New Zealand. As you can see here, we are on the South Island. New Zealand has two main islands, the North Island and the South Island, with two somewhat distinct landscapes. The very distinct feature of the South Island are the Southern Alps. This huge, massive mountain range going right up the spine of the South Island and along the backbone of this region here. There are some interesting peaks and parks throughout. You can see Arthur's Seat right here, right? It's called Arthur's Seat. First edit. Arthur's Pass. Goodness. 2. All right. There are many different peaks and parks throughout the Southern Alps here. You can see Arthur's Pass right here. And right here, let me see, nope, right here. Not this mountain, this mountain. This is Aoraki, or Mount Cook, the highest point in New Zealand. Big, beautiful mountain. You can see the Maori names for everything over here. But I'm probably not going to pronounce much because for some reason it's Ireland and New Zealand. You guys are a little vicious about my pronunciations. Except for New Zealand pronunciations, I'll have 5 different people saying, you don't pronounce it this way. And then I'll get 5 different ways of how I'm supposed to pronounce it. So you see the names there. Although I believe the name of the region here is pronounced Waitaha. Waitaha, I believe. Waitaha, I think. Anyway, don't leave angry comments saying I mispronounced it. Just leave me a nice comment saying I mispronounced it. As we come down from the mountains here, we reach this coastal area known as the Canterbury Plains. Very flat, very farmy, lots of agriculture here, lots of sheep, of course. New Zealand's very famous for its sheepy industry. You can see the big rivers coming down from the mountains, cutting through the landscape, flowing out into the Pacific Ocean. Here we can see the capital of the region, Christchurch, right here just in front of the Banks Peninsula. It says right there, Banks Peninsula. Really pretty little natural area there in front of the city. There's a lot more I have to show you on Google Earth, so I'm going to hold off on geography here, and I'll show you everything. It's much more exciting to show you than tell you. All the little coastal towns here are really beautiful, and of course all of the mountains are just so stunning. So stunning. I don't know if you've seen Lord of the Rings, particular 2 towers, because they filmed Rohan out here. This is that landscape. So, very famously, New Zealand was not inhabited for a long time in human history. It wasn't until the 13th century that the indigenous Maori peoples first landed in this area here. The area here was a seasonal settlement for the peoples. I assume more winters up here, and then summers more in the mountains. I assume, I don't know. There were some conflicts among the various iwi. And there's actually a period, I suppose, an instance of mass immigration from the North Island to this area here in the South Island after the Europeans arrived. So the culture here shifted throughout the centuries. as different chieftains, I suppose, took over the area, and as people moved in and settled. The Europeans wouldn't settle here until 1850. A fleet of ships arrived down here and decided to create a town. And they named it Christchurch after the church that they built there. It obtained the nickname of Garden City after a big, beautiful garden, which of course we'll look at on Google Earth, was built in the center of the city. And in terms of New Zealand history, not much has really gone on here. It really all just happens up in Wellington and Auckland, which I've already actually covered Auckland on the channel. I'll link the New Zealand playlist up there. I already covered Bay of Plenty as well, if you want to see Rotorua. But all of like the big facts that changed New Zealand's history forever mostly happened up there, especially after the Europeans arrived. Not much down here in the beautiful nature area. However, Christchurch has seen some tragedies in the past decade. On September 4th, 2010, Christchurch was hit with a major earthquake. It was a 7.0 on the Richter scale and a 10 on the Mercalli scale. Mercalli scale determines destruction, and I believe it goes up to 13. So a 10 is pretty bad. A lot of the city was very destroyed, and the various aftershocks that occurred after that also further led to damage. But it became even worse on February 22nd, 2011, when technically another aftershock occurred nearby here. It was a 6.3 and a 9 on the Mercalli scale, which doesn't sound as bad as the first one, right? But it occurred much closer to the surface and much closer to the city, and caused even more devastation to the areas that had already experienced devastation. People lost their lives, lost their homes. Many major buildings collapsed, including the church that the city is named after. It's still dilapidated. I think for a while they were saying it just has to be knocked down. They're working on restoring it. The last I read on the restoration website, they've had to pause and for some, I'm sure, some technical reason, and it'll be resumed in 2026. They're hoping to fix it in 2030. That's how destroyed this church, this cathedral, was. Very sad. There was also an instance in 2019 that I need to word carefully for YouTube reasons and for relaxation reasons, because it's not a very relaxing instance, where a person who causes chaos on purpose, starts with a T, ends in an errorist, attacked 2 mosques and just left a wave of devastation behind him, is how I'll put that. It was a very sad instance, especially me as an American, where things like this literally happen almost weekly because of our gun culture, but we're not going to get into that today. But it's painful to see that happen to a place that isn't prepared for that level of violence, you know. So heartbreaking, so devastating. Everything around that incident is just terribly sad. And of course, my heart goes out to all of the victims and their families and the community as well, which I'm sure is very hard to heal from that incident. Not to mention after all of the destruction that occurred just a few years prior. So, from what I have seen today, and I'm sure that my many Kiwi channel members and viewers out there can confirm, it seems that Christchurch has really healed from all of these and is going forward strong. A strong community, strong culture, and just really leaning on this backbone, literally, of just the natural beauty and wonder of their region and their island and their country, and coming together in that. And that's really lovely. New Zealand is a very special place in the world. It's very unique. There really isn't much else like it in the world in terms of just the kindness of the people here and the beauty. This place is so stunning. How is something so beautiful exists on our little rock around the sun, right? The beauty is wondrous, and I think that I should stop yapping and get to mapping. Oh my gosh, I need to stop. Let me grab my tablet, and we are going to look at Canterbury on Google Earth. Let's go. Here we are in the Canterbury region. And let's start by zooming out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. Here's New Zealand, North Island, South Island. You can see Australia is not too terribly far off. Neither is Antarctica down there. Don't get to talk about Antarctica a lot on this channel. The Cook Islands are over here. They're part of New Zealand. We'll talk about them next year, most likely. And yeah, we are down here in the southern end of the planet. Wellington, which is up here, is the southernmost capital city in the world. But we're even farther south, on the South Island. So I think we should start in Christchurch and kind of work our way in. There is the city. You can already see the garden loading right there. Absolutely huge. There's a lot of things to show you down here. Let's see if I can remember all the things that I wanted to show you. Let's start with, I guess we'll start with the cathedral, which is nearby. See all the various gaps? Actually, I'll show you this first. This is a museum for the earthquake. See some parts of the church there. Photographs of what the church looked like after the fact. Statues that were cracked in half. So much destruction there from those brick buildings. The railroad tracks there. My goodness. Very powerful quakes happening there. It's even what the rescuers here, the first responders, looked like. So sad. I'm from California Bay Area. I've experienced a very powerful earthquake. I was only 4 years old at the time. I talked about it in my California video. I just can't imagine it being that bad. The church is over here. There's the church pub, right? There's the church pub. Why don't I see it? Am I blind? Here's the tram. Oh, it's right here. I was looking over here, like, where'd it go? It's over here. But you can even tell from the 3D from above that it's going through a lot of repairs over here. So yeah, let's see. This is what it looks like today. So sad. Beautiful old stained glass window completely shattered. It's so sad that this huge scar is still on this city. They're still trying to fix it. And I'm sure they will at some point. Eventually. We'll keep an eye and an ear out for it. There's the trams that go through the city. Little ding-dings like in San Francisco where I used to live. Yeah, very devastating. So let's find, it's nearby here, the cardboard church. It'll pop up at some point. Let's see. Oh, I think it's over here actually. It's near the big playground that they built. Or at least that's how I remembered it. big crane in 3D. My goodness. It was near here. I know it was. It's famous theaters. There's the library. There's the tram there. Oh, where did it go? Locals, don't yell at me. My bad. I think it's in my recent searches here. Oh, I was so close. If I just gone one more block. The cardboard cathedral. So this is to replace the cathedral temporarily. And yes, it is made out of cardboard because it's a transitional cathedral. It's pretty neat use of cardboard there. Look at that. They even got some stained glass there and some art nearby. That's pretty cool considering, you know, it's sad that it exists in the first place, but pretty amazing archaeological, architectural feat. That's what I'm trying to say. Looks like they got lots of Christmas decorations, also made out of cardboard here. Pretty clever. Pretty clever. There's the stadium. It's also seen some better days. Let me see. Big stadium. Yeah, look at that. I guess that's when they were building it. Maybe they're still building it. Maybe that's why it looks like that. It says one New Zealand. Oh, New Zealand, not one New Zealand. I need to stop. You can tell it's late at night. I'm filming this. Anyway, what happened to the main museum right here, the Canterbury Museum, and then we'll go look at the park. Lots of stuff from the earthquake, but also lots of really cool historical, I guess beautiful wood carvings here. Old penny farthing, lots of little penguins, a big moa, an extinct bird. There's some Antarctic emperor penguins there. I wonder if that's the moas. A baby moa. It's a lot of shells. My goodness. There's a triceratops. Some ancients there. Some Antarctic friends. There's an Egyptian mummy, 'cause, you know, why not? Ancient elk, peacock, and a kiwi, of course. You can find everything here in the Canterbury Museum. Alright, let's check out the park. There's a North Park and a South Park. They're all very beautiful. And there's a beautiful botanical garden in here as well. I think we'll look at that next. Because it's a very standard, lovely park. Look at the stairway to heaven there. Beautiful flowers, beautiful gardens. Some succulents as well. Fireworks, roses, memorials, benches, a peace bell, and the greenhouse. Let's look at the botanical garden here. So yeah, Garden City is still this city's nickname. And you can see why. Isn't this amazing? Lots of cool art, lots of cool trees. Gorgeous. Look at all the colors here. Oh my goodness, like every color you can imagine a flower to come in. Oh, pretty rose. Big, beautiful trees. Oh, now that's a great greenhouse. That's fantastic. Wonderful. All right, I think that's all the things I wanted to show you in Christchurch proper. Hey guys, I'm editing and realized I forgot to show you actually one place, and that is the red zone. And that is up here and kind of around the river. See where it's all, you know, no cities or anything? That's because this was part of the earthquake damage that these buildings all had to be knocked down. So you can see the areas where there were streets. You can see all of the fruit trees that were in people's yards. See fig tree, all of the different trees there. And yeah, it's a little eerie, isn't it? But now it's like a big public park that you can, I guess, explore all these old streets that used to be little neighborhoods, little courts, little cul-de-sacs and things. It is pretty sad, but now it's all of this open green space where nothing can be built there. I wonder if that golf course is still being used. I don't know, it doesn't look too great, does it? I don't think it is. But yeah, that was the red zone. I forgot to show you this area. It's a little sad, but imagine in like 20, 30 years how lush this place is going to be, right? We'll have to wait and see. So that was all. My bad. Back to the video. Let's head over to the Banks Archipelago here. This is Littleton. That's the main like dock area for Christchurch. They've got, you can see it's very mountainous, a gondola there, so you can go up to the very tip top and look around. I think I'd be too chicken to do that, but the views are very pretty. A little cafe up there. Get some good food. But yeah, let's head down to the archipelago here. We have so much to look at. Let's look at the North Monument track. I'd like to. Gorgeous. Snowy. Sheeps. Lots of sheeps. Lots of snow. Yeah, like, I don't know. When I think New Zealand, I don't necessarily think snow unless it's on a mountaintop, but I suppose we are very close to the South Pole, aren't we? Very close. Let's look at this reserve. See this beautiful place. The trees. Oh, wow, that's a very interesting tree there. And that's so beautiful. Oh, the gorgeous clouds. Of course, Aotearoa, the word for New Zealand. The name for New Zealand means land of the long white cloud, right? Am I misremembering? I believe that's what it is in Maori. It's so pretty here. New Zealand is something else. Can you believe there's only 2 UNESCO sites in New Zealand? One for each island. I can't believe that. Let's look, actually, if we go down here to Flea Bay, we can see some penguins. I love penguins. They're my favorite bird. Look at, they're called little blue penguins or blue fairy penguins. Oh, that's a big old ram there, holy moly. They are the smallest species of penguin, and they live in, well, New Zealand, and I believe also in like southern Australia. Look at them go. They are so small. They're like the size of my tablet, to be honest. They're little guys. Which is funny because if you hop over the ocean to Antarctica, you can find the biggest penguins, which are the emperor penguins that can grow to 4 feet, which is like 1.3 meters. Pretty amazing. Let's look at this before we head on. I have another place to show you on the coast. There are, of course, so many slideshows to look at on the coast of Canterbury. I had to pick and choose which ones I really wanted to show you because otherwise I'd be here for hours and hours showing you beautiful New Zealand, and we still have to go look at mountains. So I've just picked a couple spots to show you. Penguin crossing. Be careful of the babies. Right. But yeah, oh, you can also see, let me show you this real quick. See how distinct these huge rushing rivers are against all the farming green landscape here? Isn't that amazing? It's like little scars, just rampaging water. And I found, I believe over here, somewhere along here, thought it was farther north, though. Let me see. Nope, okay. Maybe I just need to zoom in a bit more. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at this. Oh, it's all eroded. We need to find all the farms going by. Dairy farm. Where is it? I found a really cool slideshow on this river. Look at this powerful flowing river here. This is the Rakaya River. Don't think I mentioned that. Imagine if this slideshow just vanished. Oh no. Anyway, I gave you a nice tour. It was just north of the town of Rakaya. It was like up here. Well, that's unfortunate. It was a pretty gorge. I thought it was up here. Well, I guess no longer. Wait. Here it is. Yes. Here you can see the beautiful river in this landscape. All rocky. A big bridge there. Look how blue it is, coming from all the glaciers and snow melt from high up in the mountains. It's so brightly, vividly blue from all that snow. Never really seen, oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful wood carving there. Never really seen a glacial river. I see lots of glacial lakes poking around big mountains, but never, oh man, we're crashing. Never really a glacial river, huh? There we go. We've crashed Google Earth yet again. And here we are. Poor Google. I wonder what's wrong. I just started doing this one day. Alright, the main seaside town I want to show you is Kaikoura. You can see over here. It has this gorgeous peninsula here. You can see a seal colony there. Let's take a look. Lots of big seals. These look like sea lions. Maybe they are. Yeah, those are sea lions. Definitely this guy. I'm from San Francisco. I know what sea lions look like. So cute. Look at the babies. Little pups. Yeah, they're just chilling. Going ort. Having a nice time. Looks like a sleepy dinosaur. That seagull has seen some things there. Big, is that a skua? I think. Some kind of water bird. In town we have the dolphin encounter, which I thought when I read that, oh, they've got like dolphins in tanks, oh, that's so sad. Nope. You go into the ocean to encounter these dolphins. Out in the wild. Look how beautiful. The dolphins are so sweet. Oh, they're jumping. Putting on a little show. Diving in. How great is that? Yeah, I think those are maybe albatross. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, that wingspan, I think so. Let's see. Out in the ocean with the dolphins. I mean, that's goals right there, right? And a big old seal. That is goals. And then there's the whale watching. Well, let's look at the museum real quick. So the Kaikoura Mountains are just a bit over there. Oh, it's just a lot of industry things. Lots of technology and little penguins. We'll skip that for now. Let me see. Whale watching. I've never been whale watching. I would love to. Look at that. Beautiful. More sweet dolphins. Just something about sea mammals that are just so, like, I don't know, majestic in a way. So special amongst other sea life. I don't know what it is. There's a vibe about them that's so, like, amazing. But yeah, let's find a little beach. Look at this runoff down here. Well, here's the Kaikoura coast track. Look at that. Gorgeous. And beautiful sand as well. The big old seal lane there. Big, beautiful trees. Little lodges. Oh my gosh, that's stunning. What a beautiful photograph. So many sheep, of course. Little lazy seal. And water dogs. Gosh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Anyway, there's like a million slideshows all along this coast that are all incredible. Let's look at Cathedral Gully real quick. That sounds fun. Wow. Whoa, look at this. Looks like there was a huge landslide here once upon a time. And we've got, looks like little fairy chimneys, to be honest. She looks very unimpressed. That is so pretty. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at these cliffs into the water. Yeah, so there's a million slideshows. I'd highly recommend that you poke around Canterbury and New Zealand in general. In fact, I recorded a channel member video the other day where I do poke around New Zealand. So if you want to see me mess around more of the South Island and into the North Island, check out my channel members. You can click the join button below. I'm going to put the borders back up just because it's kind of hard to see the borders amongst all of these mountains here. I don't want to wander into other areas that we'll explore eventually. Let's look at this peak here. Look at that perfect snow cap from above. Look at that rising in the distance. Beautiful peak there. Oh, look at these rocks. They're really pretty color there. Wow, look at this spine of snow up there along the peaks. Up above the snow line. Oh my goodness, with the sunshine and the snow evaporating. Beautiful. You can see it from the ocean. Imagine being the first people to land on this island and just seeing all this and being like, what did we do? Look at the jellyfish there. What did we do to deserve this gorgeous island? That we're the first ones here, the first people here, and this is our home now? Can you imagine? I don't know, I think about things like that. Let's check out Arthur's Pass. Oh, okay. Thought there'd be some neat facts there, but it's just talking about where it's located. Look at these slopes. Pretty great. Waterfalls, misty mountains, wildflowers. Beautiful colors, even just among all the shrubs here and the peaks in the background. You can see the glacial melt there. See how bright blue it is? If it's the color of blue Gatorade, it's glacial water. Oh my goodness. Little flightless friend there. Gollum. Goodness, what's Gollum doing on that roof? Look how pretty. I'm sorry that I'm just saying look how pretty, look how beautiful over and over again, but I can't state that enough. It's gorgeous. Now let's go look at Mount Cook. See the glacial lakes? How bright blue they are, the Gatorade blue. So up here, this is the highest point in New Zealand. Ta-da. border there. Apparently that's Mount Sefton nearby. I think that's the one I pointed at before in the atlas. Let's just tap this. Mount Cook, Rocky, in the Southern Alps. Well, that's not a lot of pictures to look at. Look at that. Beautiful mountain. Well, that was it. Goodness, now let's look at this viewpoint, K Point. Let's see all of the splendor here. Look at all the snow. Looks like, I was about to say, it looks like the Alps. Technically is the Alps, the Southern Alps. Hence the name, right? It's named after the Alps. Oh, look, we can see all the peaks here. There's Mount Cook in the background. Oh, Rocky. It's amazing. It also kind of looks like when you look at the big mountains, almost like the Himalayas back there. Like if you just saw this part, not so much this part. A bit more vegetation than the slopes near the Himalayas. Of course, further down, it's loads of vegetation, but not to a certain point. You know what I'm trying to say. Big, beautiful mountains. Wow. Let me put the border back on just in case. I want to look at this mountain, but I want to make sure that we sure are within bounds. I want to see this cliff here. Mount Sealy. Look at all this glaciation here. All this ice. And a moraine. Just a constant, slow flow of glacial melt. And the stars. Oh, gorgeous. The Milky Way. Big old clouds, of course. Big chunks of glacier. Permafrost and all that. Climbing crew. Oh, look, they've carved steps. It's convenient. So beautiful. There's a big moraine. Pretty amazing. I want to see in 3D. Wow. Look how gorgeous. These are so beautiful. Here's Mount Cook. Here's more pictures of Mount Cook here. There it is. Amongst all this beauty. Ooh, scary bridge. But it looks pretty sturdy, to be honest. So nice. This looks more like just below the Himalayas and Everest. Very distinct mountain. Big beautiful clouds, probably dumping more snow on top of the points there. It looks very unenthusiastic. Let's see, a memorial? Yeah, I'm sure people who've lost their lives attempting to climb. The Aurora Australis, not Borealis. Aurora Australis. Southern Hemisphere. Southern Lights. Gorgeous. Yeah, this place is special. Alright, let's find one more place to close out this video, because just like the coastline, we could spend hours in these mountains. Just poking around and seeing what's here in the mountains. Because let's head to like the southern part here. Let's look at this place. Hakataramea Valley. It sounds really poetic. Not a lot of pictures, but it is very beautiful. Let's look at oh, I thought it said Cool Stream. It says Coal Stream. There's lots of pictures here. Oh, the snow though. I want to see some more, not just like fields of snow. I want to see the beauty. The Peel Forest. Here we go. That works for me. Let's end it here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this style of content, please consider subscribing. Next in this series, we're heading back over to Vietnam. And the area we're going to look at, it's in the very north, like as far north as you can go. Like it borders China, very far north, and it's very thickly jungly forest. And there's even more gorgeous waterfall slideshows and mountain slideshows. It's beautiful. So if you liked this, be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you're still awake. Give me a like and let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. I hope that, look at all the trails here. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational. And I hope that you have